Hi there Pisces, welcome to your reading for the rest of June 2018, and I'm using the tarot cards for this reading, and I'm finishing what I started a couple of days ago. I couldn't finish it because I couldn't handle the live stream, but now it has been going a little bit better today. And let's see how this last reading for June for Pisces, Sun sign, rising and moon sign is going. So the first card in your reading is Ten of Pentacles, and this month is about money. You might try to make more money, you might wait for some money, but this is also a good indication. It can mean that you receive some money, but there could be some things connected to money, to payments that you have to fix, and it could be anything. You know, it could be that you have to manage your money a little bit better, or that you have to think about your bank account, or where you put your money, how you save money, or whatever. There are concerns and issues regarding finances in general, and that's your concern. Could be money in general, not necessarily, you know, money that you must receive, or any kind of financial worry, you know, like lack of money. It's not maybe a question of that, but rather what you do with your money in general, where you put it, how you save it, and things like that. The card for relationships though is Eight of Swords, so it feels a little bit like you are there are things that you don't know about. It's like this is a card of forced isolation in a sense. Sorry. So there could be things regarding finances, of course, that you don't want to see. Not that you don't want to see, you're not supposed to see. This is the Eight of Swords. Some readers claim that it's self-imposed prison of the mind, which could be correct in some cases. It could be so that you indeed have developed a certain way of thinking, which is preventing you from stepping outside your comfort zone and getting all the excitement that other people seem to have, you know, like cool relationships and cool friends, or travel, or getting the job that they love doing, making it on their own, or whatever it might be. On the other hand, this card shows up for relationships, so you might deal with such a person around you, but nonetheless you could yourself have a relationship that is bad, in the sense that this people, or this person, or these people, there could be more people than one, that are purposely keeping you isolated from the truth. And in some cases it's also called of bullying, of harassment, of things like that. But at the same time, there could be a lot of passive aggressiveness, and therefore you cannot really be sure. It could be some type of mind game going on, you know, and you can't effectively point fingers at anyone in this case, because it's like gaslighting. It's like they can say that you are paranoid, they can say that you misunderstood the situation, you know. So you can't you have to learn to deal with it, and to kind of hope that you will understand in a way, because depending on which stage you are in this situation, you might be completely unaware of it, or fully aware of it, or somewhat aware of it. So it depends a little bit, and it might have to do with a leader, with a King of Wands, somebody that is charismatic, but in its shadow attribute, this person can be a control freak, can be somebody that is extremely abusive, can be somebody that treats people like toys and things like that. And this is charismatic leadership, of course, independence. It can be a very good energy and influence. It can even represent the soulmate, I must say. But this card appears in your case in the context of work and finances, and it appears close to the Eight of Swords. So there could be something going on in the world where there are control factors affecting you specifically, and it could affect your career, your choice of work, your finances even, and things like that. But there are some, it doesn't need to be all that negative. It can be so that, let's say, you believe that you have the right to invest your money somewhere. You go to the bank, or to whomever you are supposed to go to. I know almost nothing about it, I'm just giving you an example, and they don't want to share all information with you, even though they should. For some reason there's some discrimination going on, or they believe that you don't have the right status, you know, or you could even think of it as something that is called, at least in sociology, class movement upward. You know, when you come from a very poor background, or from a minority where you are not supposed to become something great, to study at Harvard or Yale, or you meet the wrong person, that can switch things around and and makes you believe like you didn't make it, you didn't have the right qualifications. This is also the way the Eight of Swords would work, when people are purposefully manipulating things and events to make you look like something is wrong with you, and you might even start to believe it if you are not. Some of you might be aware of it, and you would say, yeah, but that's racism, or it's just because I had she was a bitch, or I had the bad luck to deal with this bitch, and so on. So some of you might be aware of it, but some of you might not. So it shows up for relationships, and around it could be something to do with finances, the world of finances and career for some of you, where you are somehow kept outside. So if you have a manager, let's say you have the wrong type of manager, this person can also mess with you, with the possibilities that you really have, and the possibilities that this person is presenting to you. They might not be the same, and it can affect also finances and so on. So but for work and finances on its own, this card is good, because it means that you have what it takes to become a leader, or to start a business of your own. So if you are some of you might actually do great if you start a business of your own, if you don't have one already, or something like that. And but as I said, there could be some concerns here because of people trying to control stuff. I don't know, this usually this card represents a man, but if a female has a great position, could be a politician, even somebody that makes the rules, that controls things, you know, like through legislation and whatever is going on officially and unofficially and so on. This could also be a leader with great power, and in the worst case scenario, this where only the shadow attribute shows up or comes to expression, or how should I put it? It can represent, you know, somebody as bad as Hitler or Stalin, or you know, any cruel, very cruel, but in its light attribute, it's really passion, it's the independence and great strength of character, and also the ability to lead people. But the leader is important. That's why, you know, so if you have the shadow King of Wands, then you have the bad leader that leads people into doing lots of negative stuff. If you have the good King of Wands in its light attribute, it leads people towards doing good things and so on, because people are sheep, they follow the leader, and that's why the leader is very important. In our world, leaders, who are the leaders? They are the politicians, there are leaders of great companies and so on, because when it comes to religious leaders, they don't exist anymore. Oh my god, these dogs. Your challenge is this is unbelievable, but this is live streaming. There are cars coming in here, and the dogs are always barking when there are cars arriving or leaving. So the challenge is the high priest, and the high priest is somebody that is preaching, and therefore somebody can moralize a lot. There could be some social pressure as well happening, and there's a possibility then that this high priest is not representing you, but it's outer influences, people moralizing, social pressure coming from outside. And there's a possibility that something is going on here, but you are supposed to do something or be in a certain way, and there's a lot of pressure put on you, or moralizing, people moralizing, but you don't know the whole truth, so you are kept in the dark, at least regarding some parts of whatever is going on. The unexpected is Queen of Wands, and if this person represents you, you have more energy, and you have both the King and the Queen of Wands in your reading. So there could be fire signs, but there could also be people that are really charismatic, that have leadership qualities, and they don't need to be fire signs. They could be any kind of sign with these traits that are very charismatic, very easygoing, very enthusiastic, that have the type of they can motivate you into doing something, and that are extremely funny at times. And this Queen of Wands could be somebody that you deal with at some point. She could also be somebody that has these qualities that is really fun to be around. She could have an interest in black magic or in magic in general. You have the black cat here, or in occult stuff. She could be a fire sign, but not necessarily. And she's quite fun, very charismatic, funny as well to have around. And the last card it's so irritating. I'm sure that it's irritating for you as well. And the last card is the Five of Pentacles, and this is a little bit a card of being left out in the cold. So even if you have all these people putting pressure on you and you know, expecting you to be in a certain way and keeping you in the dark, and they seem to be very fun to be around, or they are charismatic, they can motivate you. When you really need them, you are left out in the cold and in the dark. And this is not so much about financial loss. This is not at all. This is about social exclusion, and this is about being alone when you really need a friend. So you have this card around this this card. So I don't know if there's this lady, you know, could be she on the card, could be a fire sign or somebody that is really energetic, funny, interested in the occult and so on, that is left out. You know, could be like that. That this lady is somehow the one left out, or when you need her, she's not there for you, even though you might feel like she's a friend, or you can count on her. She radiates that energy, but when it comes to real action, when you really need her, she's not there. You are out there in the cold. So it's very good to be aware of what is hidden from you, in which way you are manipulated, and maybe you know what you're saying. What is the social pressure about? Because it's not. There might be something. You know, something is not right here. You have this three cards: the card of exclusion, the card of being left out in the dark regarding certain mind games and stuff like that. So now I'm done with all signs. I'm sorry if you didn't really understand this reading, but there are so many cars all of the sudden driving around here, and I can't do much about it, and I also have to leave. So let's see each other next time. Probably I'll do a weekend reading or a reading for next week for all signs. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.